Hello, people of the internet. It is I, the real Kitty Craft, and I'm here with my
One
friend.
crazy slider.
Okay, and today we'll be reading some more terrible tales. This week's episode is Pokemon. Would you like to...
I love Pokemon. It's my favorite. Would you like to hear the worst Pokemon fanfiction I've ever read? Ash blushed at how close Annabelle was to him.
Read louder.
Frick.
Okay.
Do we need to restart the video?
No, just read louder.
Okay. Ash blushed at how close Annabelle was to him. He had something very important to say to her, and he didn't know how long he could wait. Annabelle smiled at him, and he couldn't hold back any longer. I want to put my noodle in your skadoodle, he cried out. Annabelle's face turned red. Oh wait, I wrote this.
Okay, so let's get crack-a-lackin'. This is A Friend in Need by Winter's Frost. Gary and Ash are locked together in the final battle to win the Pokemon League, but when Pikachu is outclassed, Ash has to turn to a much more unappreciable source to win. Please R&R. Okay. It seems as though it's impossible to increase the font size. Okay, let's start. Onyx roared in triumph, as if seeing the sheer dread of the miniature trainer who sweated profusely before him. Gary Oak smirked uncontrollably, revealing in a moment that he knew he would beat his rival and ex-best friend. Smugly, he returned to the now emptied Pokeball to his belt and waited for Ash to throw out his next Pokemon. Pikachu stood jarred and hurt, knowing that it would have no chance against the rock Pokemon. Yet, despite the knowledge he had firmly believed that somehow he would find a way to win, even if it meant facing a giant rock snake. The yellow Pokemon fell on all fours, waiting expectantly for his trainer to throw him onto the battlefield. When this didn't happen, the Pokemon glanced at his trainer, who was talking with a smartly dressed man. Although Pikachu knew very little of the human world, he knew that this man was a Pokemon official. When the official scurried away into the dark tunnel, Pikachu returned his concentration back to the battlefield, seeking for any kind of weakness that it could both find and abuse.
And both trainers have asked for a timeout,
The official declared. Pikachu began to relax, but only a little, for he knew that the battle was imminent. Misty.
It's Misty's?
Yeah. This is gonna be Misty. You want to be Misty?
Do you want to be? I can't do a Misty voice.
What are you gonna do, Ash? What are you gonna do, Ash?
Honestly, it's better than the voice they gave her in Sun and Moon. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, she's in Sun and Moon.
She is.
What are you gonna do, Ash?
The young trainer looked up at Misty, his eyes brimming with tears.
I only have Pikachu left. All my other Pokemon are out. I have no water Pokemon left to use.
His voice rose towards the end of his speech, and a lone tear ran down his face. A Cerulean gym leader played tomato.
Placed a comforting arm on the trainer's shoulder, and was half surprised when he didn't jerk it away. He must be really depressed, she thought to herself, and she knew she was right.
Ash couldn't seem to stop crying. Constant tears and muffled cries came from the Pokemon Master wannabe. Ash knew that he had no chance whatsoever of beating Onyx with only one Pokemon left. That made it worse that Gary had two Pokemon. Ash knew he might as well quit now. It's Ash.
It's Ash, okay. It's all Team Rocket's fault.
He cried once more.
If they hadn't abducted me again, then my Pokemon would be in better shape to fight. But as it is, my Pokemon are too tired to fight, and Pikachu is my only one left.
Misty sat next to Ash and drew him into a hug, which he didn't resist, too distraught to even think of it.
I knew you would have won this competition,
she said as Ash span to look at her. She knew she was writing him off, but this was a good time to be honest. A very good time.
Fate was against you. I know you could be Gary. You're 10 times better than him. Without your Pokemon, it's useless.
She reasoned. Pikachu, who had been perched once again on his trainer's cap, sagged. You can't send out Pikachu, she told him softly, stroking his cheek with her finger as she did.
That's creepy. He would get hurt, and I know that you're a better trainer than that.
Ash nodded, and he knew full well that there was precious little that he could do.
I'm going to call off the match.
he explained. Misty stroked his back.
Don't touch me! It's the right thing to do.
Let me
He stuttered.
explain this to Mewtwo. I think he has a right to know.
With that, Ash got up and left the locker room, leaving the wondering Misty alone. You want to be Mewtwo?
Or is this Ash saying Mewtwo, or is it
I think
Mewtwo saying Mewtwo?
Mewtwo says
Let's just
Mewtwo
say it
eventually.
together once.
This is Ash.
Mewtwo!
The Pokemon stirred and looked up at his temporary master. With a slight grin, Mewtwo jumped on the floor and dived onto Ash, knocking them both over. For a moment, the trainer was temporarily relieved, living in a state of slight happiness. Yet after he had prized the huge Pokemon off him... I think it's supposed to be
It's supposed to be pride, but they misspelled it.
The huge Pokemon off of himself. He sat directly in front of him and looked straight into the eyes. Mewtwo. Oh, that's you.
Wait. Mewtwo,
He stated.
I'm going to forfeit the match.
The Pokemon remained unmoving, knowing that he was providing solace to the distraught friend.
But it's okay.
He insisted.
We'll come back again next year. It's really okay.
He said it again if he's trying to convince himself rather than anyone else. The young trainer, unable to take it any more quickly, retreated into the corridor and ran away from his Pokemon. Mewtwo sat, indifferent in the shadows, yet curiously yanked him and Mewtwo against a normal behavior trotted over to his master.
Who's saying? Is it Ash or is it Mewtwo?
It's the
Oh, it's the official.
Yeah.
And the fight is resuming.
Pikachu sat waiting to fight, willing to be so that he could be chosen. Not many Pokemon can beat him, and he knew it. But as long as he tried, there was nothing to be ashamed of. Ash had caved in. Yet he knew there was no chance of Pikachu winning this battle, but he had to try. Maybe, just maybe, Pikachu could pull it off. Yet again, it was very unlikely. The battle was about to commence. The entire crowd turned to look at the young trainer. They waited. Okay, let's skip a little bit. Up to Mewtwo.
Skip it. Wait, what?
Mewtwo, Mewtwo.
Oh, that's terrifying.
He tried. I know Mewtwo.
Wait, that's me.
Sorry.
I know Mewtwo.
Ash said as she stroked his head.
Don't touch. I don't have any other Pokemon, and everyone knows you can't fight.
Mewtwo blushed slightly.
Is this story shipping Ash and Mewtwo?
I think so. Also, Ash and Misty.
Oh, a threesome.
Wonderful.
I love you, Ash. But I love Mewtwo.
But I love Mewtwo.
Mewtwo.
This is my only chance. I just need a miracle. Not much to ask for, right?
The Pokemon shaked his head, but noticed slight tears in his eyes. He could suddenly sense how this boy wanted to be a Pokemon master, how he deserved it too, and he also saw the look of defeat in his eyes. Ash had met his match, and Gary had met his victory. Suddenly, Mewtwo felt torn between two evils. If he revealed his powers to the others, he knew he wouldn't receive a moment's rest, but if he didn't, Ash was going to lose his dream. Mewtwo! He screamed, and leapt into the battlefield.
Well, what's this?
The commenter cried out as the purple and white Pokemon bounded into the field before anyone had a chance to stop him. With Mewtwo now firmly in the ring, there was no way that Ash could recall him. He had already used Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Pidgeot, Snorlax, and got even Charizard.
Even Charizard, you guys!
Oh no, like the worst Pokemon in the game! The young trainer knew that 5 of his 6 Pokemon had been defeated, and once a Pokemon was in the ring, it couldn't be recalled. Mewtwo was his only hope. But Mewtwo couldn't fight. Everybody knew that. Ash recalled as the sun crowd glared disappointingly into the ring. How he had found his beloved new Pokemon. It beaten and badly injured by the Caterpie of all things, and Ash had rescued it. Little did he know that the Caterpie had been the last straw, and none other than Team Rocket had in fact shot down the Mewtwo with a rocket launcher. Ash had saved it. On Mewtwo's part, the fight back to health was a long and lengthy one. Blah, blah. I don't care.
I don't care about Mewtwo's backstory.
And the news had hurt too. Mewtwo was one of a kind after all. When its apparent lack of fighting abilities rose to the surface, every interested trainer turned their back on him and muttered, "No wonder they died out." Ash hadn't abandoned him like the other fickle trainers. Like, why? Who would pass up a Mewtwo?
Even if it is weak, you can still get that thing.
Yeah, like, it's a legendary. It doesn't matter how strong it is. Like, you'd be like, I have a legendary. It's like, but he's not that strong. He's like, but he's still a legendary.
Yeah, like it's bragging rights over power.
It's like picking up $100 bill
and then being like, this isn't a good enough $100 bill,
like it has
and setting it down.
It's like, this one has a small tear and a speck of dirt on it. And it's like, but it's still a $100 bill. What do you think you're doing? Yeah, another anonymous voice called. This is supposed to be a real fight! So this criticisms rained down upon the vulnerable Ash. The young trainer, however, met with Mewtwo's gaze, wasn't crying. He was smiling. Oh, fucking god, this is so long.
Oh, yeah.
Don't listen to the Mewtwo!
And Ash couldn't hurt Mewtwo, Misty, blah, Mewtwo! Onyx return, Gengar, Nightshade! Mewtwo angry. Mewtwo had
When
only
was the
lived
story
in
made? When was this written?
2000.
Oh my gosh. I knew it was had to be like earlier than like some of the other stuff.
Okay, this is
had to
actually
be-
as bad as like
This is
the
good.
other ones on this list, probably. I
We
didn't
don't know, I
actually,
haven't
I
read
didn't
them
actually
yet.
read it. I didn't actually read any of
These
these.
are all blind readings.
I just felt like they'd be terrible. It actually, you know what? The end, they win.
I'm glad that Mewtwo finally won after getting shot down with a rocket launcher in like, the face. Like, I'm very happy for him.
This actually wasn't as bad as the other ones. It's just there's a bunch of there is
It's
quite
just-
a bit of misspellings.
Yeah. But I do like seeing old stuff like this and being like, wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty old.
Also, it was pretty
I
weird.
wasn't even alive when this was written.
Neither was I. Anyway, it was kind of so really weird when Misty was stroking Ash's
Yeah,
cheek. And
everyone
rubbing
wanted to
his
touch
back.
Ash for some reason.
And then freaking like even Mewtwo, it's like, what even is this? So
Everyone wants Ash.
that was a
That's
friend in
canon,
need.
by
You
the
can
way.
you can read the whole thing if you guys want. Next we have Bird Gang. By Pokemon and Animated Lover. Pidgeot Wing has had a hard life, but now with friends, he can redeem himself and defeat the same Pokemon who killed both his birth and adopted parents.
Yeah, sounds legit.
Prologue.
Pokemon lives together.
Oh, that's Proluge.
That's how I sometimes spell it on accident when I'm just like writing really fast. I'm just like,
Yeah. Pokemon lives together with each types in harmony. Peace is always the best. Oh, always the beat.
always the beat. But there are places where type secretly lives. One of an example is a place of bird type Pokemon called the Legend of the Sky, where bird types live in. It seems that the place is perfect, but that seems to be a case.
What? Did you understand what that
No, I didn't.
Wing, an 11-year-old Pidgey had a hard start in life. When he was 3 years old, he lost his birth parents by a dangerous attack. He was found and adopted by a female and male pharaoh. They also had a son named Flash, who was a sparrow. For 8 years, Wing thought he'd live. His live will get better, but another attack happened where both the pharaohs died. Wing and Flash survived, but Flash blamed him about what happened and asked him to leave. So he did.
Wing had been flying for 2 weeks. He was tired and hungry. He collapsed to the floor. He coughed as he was exhausted. He was about to doze off, but then he heard a voice.
Hello, young bird! An old voice yelled out loud.
Wing looked up and saw a Zatu and a 9-year-old Chatot flying up to him. The Zatu looked at him as he realized something.
You must be Wing, Scar, and Tina's kid.
Hold up, there's like all these cool names and then there's Tina.
There's fucking Tina. It's like the god amongst them all.
Like you got Wing, Flash,
Scar,
and then there's Tina.
the god amongst all men.
Yes, but I also had 2 adopted parents named Steve and Beth. I lost them as well as Flash, who was very mad, so I flew away as far as possible.
Thanks for repeating what we just read.
Wing told him. Steve and Beth are also kind of normal names. Forget what I said about Tina.
Tina
She's
sucks.
not special.
She's not special anymore.
And she's dead in this fanfiction anyway, so.
That must be the attack you were talking about. The Shadot said. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Like I am flying away and you were arguing.
Like I.
Like I am flying away and you are just arguing. So stop and tell me what is going on. Wing warned the 2.
Oh yeah, before we do, I forgot to introduce us. I'm Xavier, while the loudmouth here is Jason.
The now named Zatu said as he introduced both him and the Chatot.
Loudmouth, that is not. Oh yeah, it is, never mind. Jason was about to rant, but he realized what he said was true. Wing starts to laugh as he began to feel comfortable and less nervous.
So I'm guessing you know who's behind this attack.
Not just this attack, but every attack in the Legend of the Sky, as well as the other lands, Xavier told Wing as Wing jumped into conclusion. I thought this was a concussion.
He jumped into conclusion and got a concussion. Wait, what are you saying that... Wait, what? You're saying that this Pokemon was there in both of my parents' death? Wing yelled.
That's not what I said, but yeah, it's true. Xavier said as the answer made him super mad as he
Clinched his wings.
Clinched his wings. You're mad, I know, but it's nice to say that you can come with us, Jason offered the Pidgey. Hey, that's my line, Xavier yelped.
What do you mean?
Wing asked the Zato. Revenge is not the way, but that said, me and a friend of mine is putting together 2 separate gangs of bird so we can put them together to show him that even quote-unquote normal birds can beat the beast like him, Xavier explained. So what do you say, Mr. Wing?
Jason encouraged Wing as a Chatot and Wing shake wings.
Oh, that's you.
Wait, so they said shaking wings, and like this kid's name is Wing. That's like naming a kid Arm, isn't it?
Yeah.
Guess I have no choice. If it is to find this Pokemon who is causing pain to me and everyone, then he should be brought to justice. Then I'm in.
Wing announced after he
finished shaking Jason's wing.
Xavier smiled with that answer and put his wing on him. Thanks. I think your parents will be happy with that choice, he said as the 3 flew off to somewhere where the new adventure and life of Wing begins.
My favorite character is Arm. Arm's my favorite character.
You want to continue? There's only 2 chapters.
Yeah, sure.
Chapter 2.
This is technically chapter 1. The other one was a prologue, apparently.
Shh. Chapter
2. 1. Speed is the key. It's been 10 years since Wing joined Xavier and Jason.
Oh, that's a big time skip.
That is a huge time skip. Joined Xavier and Jason. It's been 10 years since Wing joined Xavier and Jason joins one half of a bird gang. He lives near a tree by the bird arena. Is that arena? Arena, where bird trains to fly, attack, and speedness. He does that with a couple of friends. Jason is, of course, his best friend. He helps out the now Pidgeot with a lot of things, and there are 3 other Pokemon who is in their side of the gang.
There's Cotton and Altera. I can't pronounce
Altaria.
Altaria, who use her claws to blind the enemies for a bit. Then there's Nicole, a Swanna who is friends of the ocean and the skill fly. Lastly, there's
Archeops, who's not much of a flyer, but when he does, man, he is slow because he's afraid to bump into someone in an insane speed.
Yeah, this is why you're here to read Pokemon names, because I can't read them for the life of me.
That's why I was hired.
You're hired. Only for this, then you're fired.
Then I'm fired.
Then you're fired. There have been training and upcoming event in the land as the long-awaited flight show is coming and Wing and his friends is attending. I thought this was a bird gang!
They have been training, but luckily Xavier is one of those birds who gives them break, unlike his friend and leader of the other half of the bird gang, a Noctowl named Noel. He leads the other half of the gang. One of the members is in fact Flash, who is now a Fearow. Both Xavier and Noel know that Flash has issue with Wing, so they decided to separate the gang, hence why Wing never met Flash and the rest of the other gang. It seems like kind of a bad strategy to, like, separate your gang.
Yeah, like, what if your gang needs to be together for a gang fight?
I don't know.
Why are you doing flight competitions? You're a gang.
You're a criminal organization, you guys.
You gotta beat people up or something.
Birds are stupid.
Burbs are stupid.
They include Oracle, an Oricorio who can change forms. She prefers the... Oh, I don't know how to say this one.
Ballet?
No, you say it.
Ballet style form, but
uses the other forms in case danger happens. Other members include Sarah the Calm Swallow, Kira the Togekiss who is very hard to get mad. Lastly, there's Harry the Haunch Crow who is pretty smart. He's also Sarah's boyfriend, but the two has trouble keeping their relationship alive. Both Xatu and Noctowl train the birds ready for them. What's the point of giving them names if, like, you're just gonna call them by their Pokemon species anyway?
Yeah.
What's the point of it?
And also, there's no doubles. If there was doubles, I'd understand, but there's, like, they're all different birds.
Yeah. I mean, except for, like, Wing's parents, but they're dead now.
Yeah, the only 2 where there's pairs, they're dead, so...
Yeah. Wing and his group were dodging poles and going through rings. Wing was ahead while Arc is behind. Wing made it first, then Jason followed behind. I thought Arc was behind before.
Yeah.
Keep consistency, dude.
Man, you really got faster, I can tell you that, Jason exhaustedly said.
Well, my wings really show its move for the last couple of years, but it makes sense since we are training for our first flight show, and for another attack by you-know-who, even though there's been no attack lately.
Wing says to Jason, which got the Chatot to think. Yeah, there's been attacks, but not as bad as the 2 times you were involved, Jason said sarcastically.
Don't remand me, your troll, Wing warned.
But still, villains lose their powers sometimes, so they need to get stronger because of what I heard. Xavier, Noel, and a Fearow, who I believe is Flash, stop him,
Jason said as Wing snorted. Well, I'm glad he is living his life as a hero while I have this, but there is one good thing, and that's your guys, Wing commented as Jason smiled. Then they heard a short
That's a tearjerker whenever I hear one. A voice of Nicole boomed as she, Cotton, and Ark arrived.
Well, it's true. Besides, you are Flash's girlfriend, so everything I said is true, right? Wing says.
And it's strange, since he is a member of Noelle's half, would you not be allowed to meet him until the event? Cotton puzzled.
That's not a thing that you do.
Well, the two came together and allow me and Flash to be together since we are both adventurous. Don't worry, Wing. I did not say that you are in my part of the gang, Nicole explained to them as Wing nodded. Then that's two separate gangs.
Yeah, it's not even one gang, it's just two.
Just because two people don't like each other, like...
I really want to read the next line, even though it's not my character.
Okay.
But still, we were awesome like the... Wait. But still, we were awesome... They're like, boy!
Ark praised. So slow and careful, it is awesome skill for a really fast and furious event.
More furious over.
You read that one.
Well, you two never feel safe when being fast, the more you know, Ark added as the two begin to argue. But a solar beam fired by Xavier stopped the two.
It's time to stop!
He roared. Xavier and the rest stand in a line as Xavier flew down to the ground.
So Xavier, how was that? Jason says. It was impressive. True, there has been some downside, like Ark's slowness, Xavier said as he insulted Ark's careful
That's
nature.
rude.
See? Told you so, Cotton sarcastically said as Ark stick his tongue out. But still, I see you are improving, especially you, Wing.
Xavier informed that Wing had improved more than everyone else.
I also love you.
No, that's weird. Xavier's like an old one. They describe him as being old when we first meet him. Now it's been like 10 years, so he's like 10 years older. That's pretty much the writing in the story. Just, this happened, and then we tell it again later.
And by the way, they're the same gang, but they're separate. And it's like...
But they're basically different gangs. Wait, me? Are you sure? Wing gasped.
Yeah, you were the last addition to this half of the gang, and somehow you improved more than everyone else. No offense, Xavier explained. None taken, they all said at the same time. That's so insulting, though! I would have been like...
Wing's a Gary Stu.
Wing's a Gary Sue.
In the way that, like, he's not very good. He's just better than everyone else. That's how he's a Gary Stu.
Besides, I agree with him too. I remember you were a small, scared Pidgey. Now look at you, a brave, speedy Pidgeot.
Jason comment.
Stop, this is you.
Stop, Jason. You're making me embarrassed. Wing hinted that he is touched by his best friend's words.
That doesn't he touched his best friend. I'm like, where did he touch his best friend?
Dun dun.
Law and order. But it's true, like Xavier said, speed is key! Jason finished
his Wing, looked at his friend, smiling at what he had become. What have he become? Thanks, I cannot ask for better friends than you. Hey, who knows? We may get new friends in the event, Wing said as everyone went to him for a big hug after they broke their hug. Wing, Ark, and Jason head off while Cotton and Nicole stay with Xavier.
Are you sure that this is a good idea? Cotton asked. You can...
For what? Xavier asked her.
About the event. Since the two groups will come together for their first time, will this work? Besides, what about Wing and Flash? Thing may get ugly. I thought that said gay. Thing may get gay.
Cotton explained.
I know it will. Oh, this is you.
I know it will, hence why I asked Nicole not to tell Flash about him. But it still has to happen since we can't hide him forever, Xavier explained as Cotton nodded.
Anyway, Nicole, since you know Flash, you know his teammates, right? Cotton asked.
Well, he said they consist of an Oricorio, a Swallow, a Togekiss, and a Honchkrow. That's it since I have not met them, just heard about it. Okay, they literally told us this in, like, the beginning of this chapter. About the characters, and now they're telling the characters about the characters that exist in the story.
Like, don't repeat yourself. Okay,
Yeah,
so anything from Noelle? Cotton asked.
Wow, so many questions from you, Nicole quietly said. But Cotton heard her.
He's fine. I heard this group is ready for the event, Xavier explained.
Meanwhile, in the other part of the Legend of the Sky, a Firo who is Flash was on top of the tree. Then he heard a voice.
Still up there, I see. The voice of the Togekiss Kira called out to Flash, as the Firo looked down at her.
Hello there, Kira. What is your business here? Flash bursted.
It's Noelle. He needs you, Kira explained as both Flash and Kira head to a hut where the other members of Flash's gang, Oracle, Sarah, and Harry, who were Harry Potter,
More crossover fan fiction, crossover with Pokemon, Fast and Furious, and Harry Potter.
Okay, you want to do the voice for Harry?
Can you do better? You can do a better like British accent.
Had fun sightseeing.
Yeah, you should do it. Harry joked.
Had fun sightseeing, Harry joked.
Oh, shut it, honey! Sarah shouted at her boyfriend, trying to shut him up.
Okay, enough! Noel shouted at the top of his lungs, shutting everyone up.
You're reading the one.
Okay, as you know, the event is tomorrow. We joined Xavier's group in the first meeting between the two groups, so I want a good impression. Got it? Noel explained to them as the group shout out yes.
Do you know who is in the gang? Oracle asked.
Yes, but I'm not saying except one because of Flash here. Noel said.
It's Harry's line.
Yes, it's once the girlfriend he was talking about.
Harry joked as Flash blushed. Anyway, I want you to be nice to them, Noel says. Yes, Noel. Everyone agreed. Flash, since there's one in the group who may have issue with, so please don't act like an asshole, please.
Like a asshole.
Like a asshole, please.
Noel asked.
He said please twice. So please don't act like an asshole, please.
Since when do I act like one, Flash?
Since when do I act like one? Baka!
Flash stuttered.
Don't act like an asshole, Noel raised his voice. Both Harry and Kira laughed at what just happened.
After the speeches, both gang get ready for the day ahead as the adventure truly begins, after a long time.
Yeah, it was a long time. Long chapter, dude.
It hasn't been updated since... Oh. This is recent.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was this year, because I knew it was from, like, recently, because they had Oricorio in it.
Yeah. I thought, but for some reason I thought this was posted a year ago. Anyway, there was a lot of misspellings.
There's lots of repeating.
I don't even know what the story is going on. Like, what is
there's
this
an event? It's like a flight show. I think they said it was a flight show.
But, like, why, though?
I don't know why gangs are involved.
Like
isn't this thing in sports, like, don't get involved in gangs? I'm not a sports person, I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, so, quite confusing on what was happening. What's the point of giving them all names if there's no, like, doubles besides the parents who are dead?
Because we gotta have that, orphan Gary stew. You know?
Yeah. Anyways. Now we have the Kanto adventure. Female Ashley Ketchum starts her journey at age 14. She embarks on a wonderful journey filled with love and excitement and a bit of danger. What will she encounter while traveling with her trusty Growlithe, her starter Pokemon?
Her name is Ashley Ketchum, the daughter of Delia Ketchum. Her mother is rather protective of her only daughter, and had asked Professor Oak, the researcher that gives starter Pokemon out to new trainers, on a special request in the case of the starter Pokemon for her daughter, which she got surprised her in almost every way, making her journey start out differently but rather smartly.
No, as it said in the summary, this will be a female Ash Ketchum story. Okay. Not sure if I'll put Ashley in a pairing with anybody.
I hope it's with Annabelle.
I don't think Ashley will get Pikachu in the story, but if you'd rather she catch it, I'll just put a poll for you guys to do.
How many chapters are in this?
7. We're only going to read, like, 1. Chapter 1. The Beginning. A young girl of 14 years old is currently in her room watching a document on the Kanto Pokemon starters, which consist of Bulbasaur, the grass type, Charmander, the fire type, and Squirtle, the water type. We know!
This is basically just the beginning of the first episode of Pokemon.
Like, we don't need you guys. We don't need you to tell us what the Pokemon starters are.
I don't know a single person that was like not a Pokemon fan that would read Pokemon fanfiction. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're reading fanfiction, you're probably a fan.
She had straight black hair that had bangs to match with brown eyes. Ash's hair isn't straight. It's like poof.
Yeah, if anything, she should have like
curly,
spiky-ish hair
or curly hair at least. She didn't know which Pokemon she wanted. Just that all of them are a good choice, except Charmander.
You should pick Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur's great. She didn't know her mother had gone up to Professor Oak, so she was trying to decide which starter she wanted.
Her mom just made the decision for her.
Her stupid mom.
The mom's a jerk.
Her door to her bedroom opened and her mom pops her head in. Ashley, sweetie, you need to get ready for bed if you're going to bed early. I also made sure to set my alarm to wake up to get me to wake You up early, since you have a habit of accidentally breaking yours in your sleep, she said teasingly, making her daughter huff at her, but nodded.
All right, Mom. I'll go to bed now since I want to get an early head start than Gary, she said cheekily, making her mother giggle at her daughter's exclaim.
Ashley climbed into her bed and instantly fell asleep. The next day, her mother woke her up at precisely 7 o'clock in the morning. Getting dressed and wearing her favorite purple sneakers, she immediately went out to the door with a "Be back soon, Mom," and started a light jog towards the lab. She smiled excitedly when she saw a couple of Pidgeys flying above with a content trill, and giggled as she pushed herself faster and finally made to the lab after a few minutes. She knocked on the door for a second, then went inside.
Just knocks on it for 1 second. Hey, Professor Oak, it's Ashley Ketchum. I'm here for my starter Pokemon. Did I beat Gary here?
She asked. When the old man came to the room, he smiled at her. You certainly did beat my grandson this morning, which means you have the element surprise, and if and when you two decide to have a Pokemon battle. Now follow me back to the room where you shall receive your starter Pokemon. It won't be a surprise when one of them is missing!
Also, I realize I've just been reading Ashley's voice with, like, Ash's voice, kind of.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They're the same person. Ah!
Blah, blah, blah. Professor, why are there 4 Pokeballs instead of the usual 3? I'm glad to ask. You see, your mother Delta made a special request on a different Pokemon for your starter since she was worried about your protection out in the real world now that you be seen as an adult, and as soon as you have a licensed Pokemon trainer, why don't you see what Pokemon it is and use this Pokedex to scan it if you're curious? He said as he handed her a red Pokedex. She took the dex in her left hand and used her right to throw up the Pokeball out in the air. Go, Pokeball! A light flashed and a small 4-legged shape came out of it with a bark. Growl! It was Growlithe, a fire type with a reddish-orange fur with black stripes and a fluffy tail. She pointed her Pokedex towards the pup. Growlithe, the puppy Pokemon, very protective of its territory. It will bark and bite to repel intruders from its space. This Growlithe is male, and its moveset is a bite, roar, and ember. I don't think that's what Pokedexes do. I don't recall.
They give them the information.
But not about, like, this. I don't think they give out specific moves.
It might.
I don't know.
Because in the games, like, you just look at the Pokemon and you, like, so I'm guessing that in, like, this, it doesn't.
I didn't watch the anime.
It might be different.
I didn't watch the anime,
I
so I
watched the 2 episodes I showed you.
The only 2 episodes you showed me.
The only 2 episodes I showed you. I didn't even use the Pokédex that much. Like, once.
Yeah.
Huh. I am quiet.
Shut the fuck up.
Tell me to shut up one more time and
Get out of my room. We have to edit this out now.
Cool. Remove yourself from this.
Hi, Growlithe. Oh, that's you.
Hi, Growlithe. My name is Ashley, and I'm a brand new trainer. I was wondering if you'd like to be my friend and partner, she said hopefully.
I like she doesn't care that her mom
just manipulated her life.
She's like, I wonder which starter I want. But his mom's like, nah, bitch, you're getting this one.
And then it's not even one of the, like, registered starters. It's just, like...
It's
just a random dog.
It's probably with rabies. She probably found it on the side of the road, like...
Well, no, the professor found it on the side of the road.
And it was the professor. He's like, you probably don't have rabies.
It's probably fine. As it's foaming from the mouth.
That's why the growl was so intense. The puppy Pokemon gave her a teasing growl and licked her hand unexpectedly, and then bit it,
making her giggle at the feel of the tongue
and the teeth.
She gingerly picked the Growlithe up in her arms and gave the professor a wide smile. Thank you, Professor. I promise to take good care of Growlithe no matter what, she promised him. He
proceeds to drop him one being bit.
He gave her a smile, then handed out a small box with 5 other Pokeballs and a badge case. She took her Pokeballs and put them in her bag along with her badge case and took out the wrapped box curiously. What's this, Professor? She asked him. He gave her a smirk.
Why don't you open it?
Curious, along with Growlithe, they both looked inside the box only to see a Firestone. She gasped. Wait, Professor, why are you giving me this? She asked him, shocked.
This Firestone, of course, is an evolution stone, and Growlithe requires said stone to be able to evolve into Arcane once it's finally reached its potential.
It's Arcanine.
What fucking ever?
I like to think that that's what happened in the story. Ashley's just like, that's Arcanine! And then Professor Oak tells her to shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up, you little piece of shit! I'm the Pokemon professor, not you!
Ashley made sure to gingerly put it inside at the bottom of her bag where it can't easily fall out and bowed to Professor Oak. Thank you, sure. I promised you won't regret this gift to me, she said gratefully. He chuckled at her and patted her on the head.
Don't thank me. Thank your mother. Ashley, she used her savings into making sure you had the special request for protection. Oh, that's why we couldn't afford food or money for so long.
Oh, she spent her money on an Arcanine. I mean, Growlithe. I mean, whatever.
With a Firestone for an Arcanine. That's why my bed's a cardboard box.
She gave him a wide grin and shook her head. I will, Professor. Wait.
You already read
You should
this.
nod it, right? You should, like... No, I didn't read I will, Professor. Like,
Oh, yeah.
shaking your head means no, right? Nodding is yes.
Yeah.
So she's like, I will, Professor. No, I won't. I'm not going
Professor.
to. I'm not going to. Bye.
She giggled when Growlithe gave her a lick on the chin as they continued down to her mother's.
Say, Growlithe, she said, catching his attention. He looked at her curiously. My dream is to become one of the top elite Pokemon trainers, and I was hoping you'd be right there along with me, along with any other Pokemon friends who get along the way? She asked him shyly. He barked at her in agreement, making her smile.
Bark.
All right then, that's our dream. After we go see my mom, we'll go catch at least a few Pokemon or two on our way to the Pewter City Gym, which specializes in rock-type Pokemon. So on our way out, we'll train for a few weeks until then.
He barked in agreement and wagged his tail at the word training. She finally made it to her mom's house, and about 30 minutes later and walked in. How long did it take her to freaking get
to
through Oaks? It's like a light jog, like, I'm not out of breath. Everything's fine. But then it's like a 30-minute walk.
Yeah, seems legit.
This is definitely Pallet Town.
Yep. Mom, I'm back!
Oh, Ashley, I'm glad you came back in time. Did everything go well at Professor Oaks?
Ashley nodded to her mom and gave her a hug. He told me what you did to get me Growlithe. Thank you so much, Mom. I promise I'll do everything I can to make sure he's grown to his potential.
Oh, Mom, one question. Why am I sleeping on a cardboard box?
I spent the money on the Growlithe. I'm sorry. She said and bent down to Growlithe.
By the way, you don't have college savings.
No, that's what they spent. Ashley, that's what happened. That's why Ashley has to go be a Pokemon trainer because she can't afford college.
Because she had to. Because Mom bought her a fucking growl.
I bought her a dog. Granted, an expensive dog, but you know.
And a Firestone, which are pretty damn rare.
Hey, Growlithe, this is my mom. She's one of the reasons I want to become a good trainer, she said happily, making her mother giggle at her daughter. Growlithe wagged his tail happily at seeing his trainer's mother before, and gave a long sniff around her legs, memorizing her scent. Delia knelt down a bit and gave Growlithe a rub behind his ear, making him thumb his tail excitedly. Well, Mom, I gotta get started on moving if I want to be Gary. She gave a wave to her mother as she and Growlithe started walking. She smiled widely when her and her starter Pokemon entered Route 1 and gave a happy giggle, which Growlithe gave a bark. So what would be good to have on our team is a water type, perhaps a flying and fighting type. So what do you say, Growlithe, to getting some new friends?
She asked the pup, who wagged his tail in agreement. They continued to walk until finally what looked to be Pidgey flew into a stop in front of them and started pecking around the ground curiously.
Ashley immediately took her Pokedex out because she knows nothing about the outside world and is actually really stupid.
Pidgey, the tiny bird Pokemon, a rather common sight in the forest and woods. It flaps its wings at the ground level to kicking up blinding sand to protect themselves from others. Don't fucking correct me, child.
Ashley grinned at the bird. It was watching her since the Pokedex made a sound.
Oh, wait. For the Pokedex. I didn't say the bird's moveset on this one, but I told Growlithe.
It's because she caught Growlithe. So it, maybe it scans the inside of the Pokeball to, I don't know. Do I look like a Pokemon scientist? No, I don't.
Well,
alright, Growlithe, let's catch it and make your first battle. What do you say, buddy? She asked her starter.
Whatever, dodge battle, use tackle Growlithe.
She shouted. The pup did as commanded and started running, effectively dodging the pick, blah, 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 blah.
Oh yeah, it does the same thing. Pidgey, the tiny bird Pokemon, this Pidgey is female and has the moves Peck, Sand Attack, and Gust. Nobody cares. Let's see. That's it.
That's it, guys.
That's it.
That's it, folks.
She catched a Pidgey.
I mean, I must say that this is better than my rewrite of the Pokemon anime.
It's super weird. There's a lot of
Just kidding, mine's better.
There's a lot of misspellings. Does that mean everybody else is gonna be gender bent? Or
no, everyone's gonna be this. Wait, scroll down. Maybe they said it at the bottom.
Fucking no. And I want to.
No.
I don't want to even find out.
I don't care.
Boop. Now for our last fic.
Our last fic. We're obviously gonna have to read more than just the prologue. The prologue is like 2 paragraphs. Not even. It's just a paragraph and a sentence. What's the description for this one?
This is James Oak by Snape's Painful Memories. James Rocket is the father of Ash Ketchum. During his and Jesse's constant struggles with working for Rocket, James secretly watches out for his son, unable to let his son know who he really is. It explained what happened to Ash's father.
That's neat, but I mean, I don't think his dad is James. I think I don't know who his dad is, but I know it's not James.
His dad's actually
his dad's Mr. Mime.
No, he's the Oak. He's Professor Oak.
That means Ash is like Gary's uncle, then, right? Because Gary is Oak's grandson. So. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe Gary is also his grandson. Like his son is like, okay, so like Ash's mom.
Yeah.
Did it with Professor Oak's son, and that's where Gary comes from. But she also did it with Professor Oak. That's where Ash comes from.
Not right. Okay.
So they're half brothers.
Okay.
And one's the uncle.
Seems legit. I mean, it's probably canon, you guys.
It's canon, you guys. Okay, prologue. A violet-haired man looked lovingly down at the little bundle in his arms. He rocked the child and caressed his cheek.
What's those people touching Ash, like in the first fanfiction? Like, don't touch me.
Good luck, little one, he murmured as he kissed the boy on the cheek. The man handed the baby to the woman beside him. Please, Delia, take care of him. He needs a safe and proper home. The woman nodded and kissed the purple man on the lips. Goodbye, James. The man ran off, clutching his son's toy Pikachu in his hand. Why'd you take his toy?
That's very rude of you, James. I know you're a thief and all, but, like, don't.
Okay. 10-year-old Ash Ketchum scrambled to find a clean pair of pants. Today was the start of his journey as a Pokemon trainer. Just go without pants. Who needs them?
Shorts are better anyway.
Ash was looking forward to get his first starter. Now just go in his boxers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
love you, Mom. See ya in a few weeks. He hollered as he rushed out the front door.
He got his first Pokemon in pajamas.
True. He ran down the road as quickly as he could to get to Professor Oak's lab.
He skidded to a stop as he got to the doors.
I'm here! The black-haired
10-year-old
yelled as he tried to catch his breath. He looked up as he saw the professor looking at him.
Finally! The professor stated disapprovingly.
I'm sorry, I couldn't find my shoes, Ash defended. Anyway, is there a Pokemon left? Maybe a Charmander? No? Bulbasaur? Oh man. How about a Squirtle?
Oak shook his head. Early bird catches the worm, or in this case, the Pokemon, the professor stated. Although we do have one left, freshly caught this morning.
I'll take it, Ash declared. The professor pulled out a red ball with a lightning bolt etched on it.
Come out, Pikachu! The professor commanded.
A white light came from the ball as it opened up. In the light's place, on the table, stood a yellow mousy Pokemon with red cheeks and lightning-shaped tail.
Pika-pee!
I can do Pikachu voice, kind of.
Shh!
Oh, okay.
You're doing everything else.
Yeah, you're right. You should do something.
Pika-pee!
Hello, Pikachu. I'm Ash Ketchum, your new trainer. Would you like to join me?
The yellow mouse shook her head, knowing. Isn't Pikachu male?
When was this written? Actually, check.
Huh. This year.
Well, what do you know?
Pikachu's apparently female.
I guess.
The yellow mouse shook her head no and glared at the ball in Ash's hand.
You don't like the ball, do you? You don't have to go in it. You can just walk beside me if you want.
Pikachu looked up at Ash as
she thought
his offer.
If he'll offer.
I can't read.
The mouse nodded and scrambled up onto the black-haired trainer's shoulder. Thank you, Professor, Ash said, bowing politely to the older researcher. I'll train and become one of the best.
That's all I can ask you, Ash. Be careful out there.
And with that, Ash Ketchum was ready to begin his adventure with Pikachu as his new partner.
Next time on James Ketchum.
Well, now it's just like...
It's James Oak, not James Ketchum!
This fanfiction makes no sense!
Like, why is it called James Oak?
Well, let's read and find out, right?
There's no more!
There's no more?
There's no more!
There's no more!
We'll never know!
We'll never find out the answer to the question.
Snape's painful memory... Like, I'm just gonna send this video link to this person and be like, why is it called James Oak?
Just like PM them.
It's right. James Oak because he's fucking Professor Oak's son.
Are you shitting me?
And he's also Gary's dad and
are you shitting me?
And he's also Ash's dad.
Oh.
He's both.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't fucking know anymore.
Wait, no. Professor James is apparently Ash's dad in this story. But as Oak, he's also, Gary's dad. They're brothers.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
We'll see. Oh, we'll see when they figure out if Ash figures. Why did James leave?
Because he lives a life of crime. Obviously. I don't know. I don't really care, honestly.
He's like, I'm gonna join Team Rocket and leave you with our only child.
Sorry.
Yeah, so anyway, that was James Oak. Or James Ketchum.
We don't know, honestly. We really don't know.
Anyways, so that's the last of it for today. Anyways, thank you,
You're welcome. I'm glad I could help and enhance the situation.
Enhanced
it.
Pikachu.
Well, guys, if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.